This week's all-new episode of Steven Universe was called Catch and Release, and it found Steven getting kidnapped from his bed in the night by none other than Peridot in hopes that his healing spit could repair the warp pad and send her back home. Real talk, even before this episode, I always felt a little bit bad for Peridot. I mean, look at it this way. She's not a warrior, she's not a conqueror. Heck, when we first meet her in the show, she's basically glorified tech support, and the crystal gems have been hounding her non-stop, even taking one of her legs in their last fight. Taking Steven was a last-ditch desperation move from a person who's truly all out of options. Catch and Release is an episode all about getting to see Peridot in a much more vulnerable and even sympathetic light than we've ever gotten to before. You see, after she gets captured by the crystal gems, who make their grand return this episode after 2 absences, Steven goes to try and talk to her about the impending threats facing Earth. This is great stuff because it reminds us how Steven sees the good in everyone, even the people that the crystal gems have more or less given up on. It's in this episode too, we also discover that Peridot isn't all gem. She has cybernetic enhancements that she makes use of. You think she might have herself something of a body issue problem? Very interesting. This and how she treats a mirror that she sees later on in this very same episode makes me wonder about how homeworld gems view strength and beauty as a concept. And you know what, speaking of the homeworld, all throughout the episode, Peridot throws around words like planet trader and war starters in regards to the crystal gems. Is this just propaganda that she's absorbed? Or, could her words actually carry more meaning? I mean, after all, we don't exactly know the inciting incident that started the war with the homeworld, and what we do know we've seen solely through the eyes of our heroes. Could they possibly be unreliable narrators? Who's to say? I mean, this is war we're talking about here, where things aren't so black and white. And, if I may be so bold as to play devil's advocate here for just a second, let us all remember what the gems did to Lapis, a thinking, feeling, sentient gem being, and the fact that they also didn't really try and reason with Peridot before they straight up attacked her the first time around. The second half of the episode mainly involves Peridot locking herself in the temple's bathroom and refusing to leave. By God, it's like R. Kelly in the closet, I tell ya. While Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl try to figure out what they should do next, Steven does, well, the unthinkable. He actually talks to her and manages to get her to open up just a little bit, all just by being his normal, regular, everyday, lovable self. And you know what? At the end of Catch and Release, Peridot is still there in the temple, and it doesn't look like she's going to be leaving anytime soon. I wonder, is this the big shakeup in the show's status quo 2 seasons and 70 episodes in? Will she eventually be joining the team a la the Green Ranger? I guess only time will tell. This was a wonderfully morally complex episode that offered up a great focus piece on a villain, while also giving the viewers a bunch of new questions to chew on and think about as for what this could mean down the line. What is the hatching? What is the big threat that's going to come to Earth? Why does it seem like Yellow Diamond, the de facto leader of the homeworld gems as we see it so far, has more or less abandoned her agents? And you know what? If all that wasn't enough, the show was also really, really funny. Overall, I give Catch and Release a very positive 9 out of 10.